Good morning. Welcome to the channel. Retired, don't give up. Excuse my morning garb. I'm relaxed, having my second cup of coffee out on my balcony. You know, it's 11th of November, Remembrance Day. Well, Remembrance Day was yesterday in Canada, but you know, it's the 11th today here in Thailand. This Boy, I tell you, this month did not play out the way I had planned by any means whatsoever. You know, for those that have been following the channel, they know I've been quite under the weather. I'm certainly on the mend now. There's still this tiny little pain, so obviously the inflammation of the bladder is finally subsiding, and I'm pretty happy for that. I was quite concerned that I was going to have to make a trip to Chiang Mai, see my cardiologist, have an echocardiogram, have him call the bladder specialist, say yeah, he's healthy enough to have the operation, and then put out in a 40 or 50,000 baht to have this operation. But at this point, that may be not a necessity. Yeah, it's been quite rainy this last few days, of course, with all the typhoons and hitting Vietnam and making its way inland to Thailand. It's been quite rainy. The fog is just starting to lift over the mountains, and you can just start to see some of the mountains, and at this point it's overcast, but I suspect it's going to clear up quite nicely. So yeah, my plans. You know, there's an old saying, church saying, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Quite a few know that I was planning a fish pond, which would be done by now, and right about this week, we would be planning our trip to Udantani, and then down to Surin to see my friend Dave, and to meet up with Howie Maui, and make our way back up. And so yeah, those were the two plans. And you know, I actually had a small little bonus money come to me, which would have basically covered all those two items. But unfortunately, several trips to the hospital, several trips to the specialist, you know, a trip to the dentist, yeah, you know, and now, you know, we're forced to replace our air conditioner in the bedroom. Now, I mentioned that before, where we've had some problems with it, and we've had the technician come, and he's done his best to keep this 10-year-old air conditioner running. You know, but at some point at 2 or 3 in the morning, I hear this beep beep where it's gone into error code, and that's it. Now, and I just felt, you know what, we have to replace this. So so yesterday we took a trip in and to look at new air conditioners. Well, there was an eye opener too. You know, it's prices have gone up in 2 years. Now, 2 years ago, when I first came to Chiang Mai, we were renting a house, and I purchased an air conditioner for the living room, a fairly large one, 18,000 BTUs. And I had them take the old one, small one out, and install that, and install the small one in the back of my little office. And that was a total of 15,000. Now, I must admit, it's quite possible that air conditioner fell off a truck, because we had made a deal with my nephew's friend, and he came and he looked after the whole thing. So I have no idea, you know, where that air conditioner came from. It was a Hisense, which is a Chinese model, so not necessarily top quality, but of course I've had it changed, and it's now working here in our living room, and it works just fine. So of course that was 15,000 for all that, and that was 2 years ago. So I'm thinking, like, the bedroom's very small. We only need a little 9,000 BTUs. All we need. It's a very small bedroom, And I'm thinking, what, 8,000 baht? Wow, was I ever wrong? So first place we stopped, and here's the video of that, was quite a very beautiful department store right on the main street of Pair. Everything you can think of was there. And I got my eyes open. Everything was like 15, 18, 20,000. Even the smallest ones, and I just kept looking, and well, there was one that caught our eye, and I figured if it comes down to that, this is probably the best. It was Samsung, and it's made here in Thailand, so we know, at least we know it's locally built, an inverter and all this stuff. It had lots of options, and after everything's installed, I'll go over everything that it has. But we thought, okay, this is our first stop, so let's keep looking. So we made our way to Home Pro, another big department store. I didn't film it, probably should have. For those that don't understand or don't know just what's available in Thailand, because there's some pretty amazing stuff available, if you have the money. So again, I'm walking down the wall of air conditioners, and the prices are the same and so forth. But they had one corner they had for sale, and they had a Hisense like this one. It was $10.99, and I thought to myself, okay, well, there's 4,000 difference. I'm fine with this. It was a 9,000. It was everything, So, and I was like, well, let's buy that one. And of course, Katai is talking with the salesman and so forth. Well, apparently, that one is not a high efficient unit, so therefore it would use more energy. And so he's trying, and they do this. They try to upsell you. But he's pointing out the next one up is at 11,000, well, about 12,000 baht, and the thing is, that's in Pair, we're in Song, and if there's any way of adding on to the cost, they're going to do that, and so the delivery cost is 500 baht. Okay, so you're adding all this up, and he's pointing out that that this one is more efficient, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, so now we're up to 13,000, and he hasn't mentioned the 500 delivery charge. So I called Katai over and I said, you know what, if we're gonna spend 13,500 here, we might as well spend 2,000 more and buy the Samsung and just be done. 2,000 baht, in the grand scheme of things, especially on an air conditioner that hopefully will last us 10 to 15 years. There you go. So we went back. Actually, we stopped at one more place, and those prices were even more expensive. So we went back and we made the deal. And as you can see. So I'm going to film the installation. They'll be coming on Wednesday. Today is, of course, Tuesday. And I'll show you how efficient these guys are. And we'll have a new air conditioner and not have to worry about it. And we'll have a new air conditioner just in time for the cool air to settle in, because apparently tomorrow night is supposed to drop down to 21 degrees, which is perfectly open window weather. So, but eventually it'll get warm again. So, all right, stay tuned. There's more to come. Well, it's Wednesday morning, 25 minutes after 9. And the boys are here to change the air conditioner. Katai barely got clothes on. I wonder, but anyway, she's still in the bathroom with the door closed, and they're here and they're going to get started, and we'll We'll take a couple of shots as they're doing it to give you an idea of the procedure on changing an air conditioner. With all things, there's always hidden costs. Apparently, the piping from the air conditioning unit to this piping here, okay, that goes up to the air conditioning unit in the room, it only comes with 4 meters of pipe that's included in the price, and we are over 4 meters. So I just talked with a gentleman, and of course one of them speaks fairly good English, so we're getting along just fine. What they're going to do is, if we leave it here, it's 800 baht more for the pipe and the fittings. If he moves it down, it'll only be 250. If they move it from here to here, just under the window, it'll be 250 baht, and they'll be able to still go through the same pipe and up. But the problem is it's coming down and it goes around to the other side. So by moving the new unit on this side, all the piping stays on the right hand side. Well, that's what happens, and there's always something. I'm sure we'll get it done and we'll be quite happy. One of my I talked to one of my subscribers yesterday, and of course he says, well, geez, I just ordered 2 off Lazada, or maybe it was Shopee, 9,000 unit, something like 6,000 baht. I said, well, yeah, but then you have to have them installed. He said, yeah, 2,500 baht. And I thought, yeah, 6,000, 2,500. You probably run into the same problems here. It'll probably add up, but that was still probably going to end up being under 10,000 baht. Well, you know what they say, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and coulda, shoulda, all those silly things. But the important thing is we're getting a new air conditioner. It's a Samsung, very good quality, so it should last us, hopefully, my lifetime. These boys don't waste any time. They've only been here half an hour. Off to the air conditioning graveyard. Or maybe not. We'll see. Might have a use for it somewhere else. So there's our finished product. Now this goes 4 ways. It swings up and down, and it swings back and forth. And the first thing we've noticed that it's very, very quiet. Very, very quiet. So all of this is all brand new. And I'll show you I'll take you out and show you the new the compressor outside.
Very, very quiet.
And of course the remote control, the other one was a Samsung too, so the remote control is basically the same, so there's not much of a learning curve. Of course, there's all the parts. Again, we might be able to get a few dollars for it because it does work. And of course, as I said to Katai, worst case scenario, it would fit up there and be used in the real hot season. If we had company here, you could cool this room down a little bit. But, you know, that's pretty much secondary. It has now been moved over. There's the new unit, also very, very quiet, which is a good thing. All new plastic piping, everything is all new. The blue drain going down and so forth. Pretty good job, pretty happy. Final price, like I say, was an extra 250 for the piping, and we gave him a 200 baht tip, so 450 onto the 15,450, so just short of 16,000 baht. Considerably more money than I thought we'd be paying for a 9,000 BTU air conditioner, but well, that's the way it is, and hopefully, like I say, it'll last us a long time. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye for now, and remember, don't give up.